If you ask me, the Sony 1000XM3 are currently the best ANC headphones on the market right now. But I know some people just can't afford to drop $350 on a pair of headphones. So when Skullcandy first announced their first ANC headphones, the Skullcandy Venue, I was actually pretty excited because sub $200 ANC headphones are actually pretty good now. But even though the Skullcandy Venues do have a few good things going for them, overall, I'm still kind of disappointed in them. I found that sub $200 ANC headphones can be very hit or miss, and in this case, the Skullcandy Venue are a miss. They retail for $180, so the Venues would definitely appeal to someone on a tighter budget, but with other better performing options out there in the same price range or even below it, namely the Sony Watcha 700N or the Sennheiser 4.50 BTNC, it's hard to recommend the Skullcandy Venue. So if you want to pick up a good pair of sub $200 ANC headphones, I'll have the Sonys and Sennheisers linked down below. And if you use the links, it really helps out the channel. And I highly suggest you check them out because both of those headphones routinely go on sale. And if you want to learn more about either of those headphones, then watch their full reviews. First, let's talk about the accessories because Skullcandy has always outdone themselves in that department. The Venues come included with a very nice carrying case. It's going to protect whatever is inside like no one's business, and is easily a much nicer case than what comes included with $350 ANC headphones like the Sony 1000XM3, Bose QC35, and Beats Studio 3. The 3.5mm audio cable and micro USB cable are also pretty nice for $180 headphones. But given that it's late 2018, I would have preferred if these headphones came included with a USB-C port instead. Now let's talk about these headphones' design, fit, and build quality. Right off the bat, I can tell you these headphones are not big head approved. In order for me to get a somewhat comfortable fit, I actually have to extend the headband basically all the way out, leaving only 2 extra clicks. And every time I go to put these headphones on, I'm afraid they're going to snap because they creak a lot compared to the Sony Watcha 700N or many other headphones out there. Now, when you actually put on the Skullcandy Venues, you're going to notice that they have a lot of clamping force, which do make them pretty uncomfortable to wear for extended periods of time. They're not as bad as the Bowers & Wilkins PX, but no matter how much I shifted them around, I never managed to get a comfortable fit with the Venues. Whereas both the Sony Watcha 700N and Sennheisers have a snug fit, but they are still comfortable enough to wear for extended periods of time. But clamping force aside, the shape of the ear cups on the Venues are also pretty cramped compared to most other over-ear headphones. My medium-sized ears just barely manage to fit inside them, but if you have larger ears or ears that stick out a lot, then these are a hard pass. I feel the Venues are only going to fit grown adults with smaller heads or teenagers that still have some growing to do. When it comes to the active noise cancellation on these headphones, honestly, I'm not impressed. They block out less noise than the Sony Watcha 700N, and they do so with more cabin pressure. It's not as bad as the JBL E65s, but you're definitely going to know when it's on. And there's also a good amount of hissing. Now, the hissing goes away if you're listening to music, but if you're listening to a podcast or some videos, you are going to hear some constant hissing in the background of whenever somebody's talking. And the active noise cancellation on the Skullcandy Venues also takes a toll on the sound quality of these headphones. With ANC turned on, the soundstage on these headphones is a little narrow, but the EQ changes so there's an emphasis on both the treble and bass. But what ends up happening is that if the highs really get going, then these headphones start to sound very bright. But also, if you're listening to hip-hop, rap, or anything with a lot of bass, then these headphones are going to bottom out a lot. Way more than what I feel is acceptable these days. But with ANC turned off, the soundstage on these headphones opens up a little bit, but the emphasis on the bass and treble goes away. Now, even though there's a lot less crashing in the bass and the highs don't get as bright with ANC turned off, I still can't help but notice that the instrument separation and clarity of these headphones is overall pretty weak, and they don't get all that loud. So unfortunately, since the Skullcandy Venues fall short for me when it comes to fit, sound quality, and ANC performance, I just can't recommend these headphones over other headphones. But like I said at the beginning of this video, the Venues do have a few cool things going for them. First up, I think it's awesome these headphones have tile integration. Straight from the Tile app, you can locate your headphones and you can make them play a chirping sound. And for high school or college students, this is an awesome feature to have. Maybe you're in a hurry to get to your next class and you end up leaving your headphones in the mess hall or library. Or if someone steals your headphones, you have the option to track them down. Another cool feature these headphones have over other sub $200 headphones is their monitoring mode, which is very similar to Sony's quick attention mode on the 1000XM3. If you're playing music and if you press the ANC button, the headphones will lower the volume of your music and pump in all of the ambient sound so you can talk to someone without having to take the headphones off.
I get the skirt when I want. She got white written all over. She got white written all over.
And when you press the ANC button again, the headphones will go back to normal. I love when headphones have this type of feature. It comes in very handy if you're traveling or commuting. When it comes to battery life, the Venues have an advertised battery life of 24 hours with ANC turned on. And even though a 24-hour battery life is pretty average for wireless headphones these days, what's not average is their fast charging. If you charge these headphones up for 10 minutes from a dead battery, they're going to get you 5 hours of playback time, which is the same as the 1000XM3. And finally, I can't deny the Skullcandy Venue are a good-looking pair of headphones. They have a very clean and minimalist design that's going to look good everywhere you wear them. The buttons on the back of either of the ear cups are very easy to find and they have a good amount of tactile feedback. And the battery gauge is also a nice touch. I just wish the plus, minus, and ANC text were raised so they were easier to tell apart. And I know this is just me, but I just hate that you have to press and hold the plus or minus button to skip or go back a track. It just takes so long. But if you double press the center button, you'll activate your voice assistant. And finally, here's the microphone test. And long story short, I just wouldn't take phone calls with these headphones. But this audio clip has been recorded by the microphone on the Skullcandy Venues, so you can be the judge of that. So overall, even though the Skullcandy Venue has a few cool things going for it like tile integration, ambient mode, and some very impressive rapid charging, for me, they fall short when it comes to fit, sound quality, and active noise cancellation. And these are the top 3 things to take into consideration when choosing ANC headphones. With the way they fit and sound, I can't help but feel the Skullcandy Venues were made for kids. So if you want a good pair of sub $200 ANC headphones, I would recommend the Sony Watcha 700N or the Sennheiser 4.50 BTNCs over the Skullcandy Venue. The Sonys have the better built-in tech because they have a longer battery life, they have an app which allows you to adjust the EQ, their bass is deeper and punchier, and since their ear cups are much more spacious, they're more comfortable to wear. But if you want that timeless, minimalist design like the Venue, then the Sennheisers might be more your style. Those are also a very good pair of sub $200 headphones with some really amazing build quality. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. Support the channel by clicking on the links down below, and I'll catch you next time.